Hi everyone, welcome to another episode by Poor Man Gamer. Today is episode 3 of Try Your Deck Thursday, so for all of you guys watching, thank you so much. This is interesting. I actually had someone reach out from Terminus Shores saying that, hey, could you take a look at my deck? I'm struggling to win with GDI. Then I look at him, I'm like, dude, you win like 70-80% of your games, what are you talking about, right? And he's saying, no, I'm specifically having trouble with this GDI deck here. He actually wins quite a bit of them, so I'm not sure what there really is to look at, but we're going to examine it anyway. And where is he? So we're going to go take a look at his GDI deck, and again, the problem I see right away is he's using a General Solomon on a deck that doesn't really complement it. His deck is fairly light for the most part. The reason I don't like General Solomon is because 150 Tiberians for one ion cannon shot is very, very, very expensive. And if you miss, then it's pretty much over from there on. So he rolls out a Rifleman. He's going up against Cyborgs. Obviously, he's not going to stand much of a chance. So, you know, and but he's level 11, you know, pretty strong. Actually does quite a bit of damage. The Missile Squad is moving. I would have parked it closer to the Harvester, actually, to defend it. And instead of killing off that Cyber Wheel, I would have kept one of them alive. And then switch fire. I also think it's a little premature right now to roll out a second building terror. What I would do is because that second building right now, you're still rolling out missile squads, but the second building hasn't added much value. I would have waited just a little bit longer to see what he's doing. He wasn't really pressuring you, right? Maybe send one scout so that you had a better chance of winning this missile. And so far so good. Obviously that chem buggy is a big irritant, right? And I totally get it. Not much you could really do here at this stage of the game. I mean, that chem buggy is as irritating as can be, right? You try to move that missile squad up. Right now, I would move my Harvester back, but I think it's too late at this stage because he's already got that final shot on you. Ooh, wow, you saved it. All right, look at that. So great job forming a wall to protect your Harvester and switching gears here. Great job with the missile squads. I do see a Cyber Wheel. Not really going to do much. I would have moved my Pred Tank up earlier, and I would just start pressuring him to see what he's up to. Give me eyes on the battlefield. Staying stationary means you're blind. He does a great job with the Banshee. It's too little too late with that Harvester. It's definitely gone. You've got 3 sets of Missile Squad. He has an economy advantage. You know he's got a chem buggy. So, to be honest with you, you're not really doing anything poorly. It's just he seems to be one step ahead of you. He got you with that chem buggy, and he got you with that tank. Basically, the tank war is the most critical part of the game. You lose a tank war is basically game over. So you did a great job here rushing down. I would have body blocked him with a missile squad on the top, but you were able to get this missile anyway, so great job. And matchups are good so far. Pred Tank needs to go across, not down. You got the Mohawk. Excellent unit to protect the Harvester. You're playing really, really well. You got the Mohawk there. I would have focused on the bikes, which you do, right? Pred Tank's on the bike. You're doing a great job wiping all the bikes. Bang, 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 bang. There goes the chem buggy. I would have actually kept the chem buggy alive because it's not really doing much anyway. Downside with the Mohawk is it can't do anything against air units. Yeah, so you're doing good. Talon is doing good. You're charging the missile. You're playing your matchups really, really well, right? Given your economy, I would have rolled out a Pred Tank right now. There you go. You're doing exactly what I would do. And that Talon is moved up. You're going after his bike. Matchup on the bottom, you're almost going to lose it, so you're going to need another Talon. Ion Cannon's too little too late, plus you blew up your own unit. So that's what I mean by the Ion Cannon. It's very, very tough to time it just right, but Terror, you played a near-perfect game. I'm not really sure there's anything that I could do differently. So I'm going to go ahead now and give it a try with your deck. So we're going to pause it again, and then we're going to watch the replay after. So Terror, we're gonna take a look at your deck now, and I go ahead and I replicated your deck. As you can see, I'm much lower level than you, and we're going up against Doug Bomb. We actually almost had this second match. So I see a couple weaknesses with your deck. One, you're not very strong against infantry. The trouble with the rifleman is that I know you've got really high level units, but without that shockwave, where you need that extra punch, it doesn't do much. And a second problem I see with the deck is you're using the Talon as your main anti-infantry. It doesn't work out well sometimes because you can get picked off really easily. So I scout him and I see he's got a double harvester. I immediately with my missile squad, and I decide the best counter I have against him is my own double harvester, right? Because at level 11, there's no way I'm going to be able to take him out. So I do the damage that I can. I'm building up my own economy, and I roll out the Talon. So I'm going to show you here why I think your deck is a problem, Terror. The primary reason is, oh come on, get there, there you go. Yeah, the primary reason is the Mohawk, it's strong, but it's not that strong. And there's not a lot of synergy between your infantry and your air units. You see that? If he's able to roll out anti-air units, your Mohawk is only good against vehicles. I'm doing the absolute best I can to hammer away at his harvester, and look, it just ain't working. Alright, now you could write down the discrepancy here, but you notice how in order for me to counter him well now against ground units that can take out air like a Pippo or anything, I actually have to roll out a War Factory, right? So because of this lack of synergy, you know, there's not much I can do. I try to time this out as perfectly as I can and take out as many as I can, right? And I am trying my absolute best here to keep this missile charge at all times, but it's not easy, right? So I'm still trying to charge up the missile, and now this deck is where you really get into trouble. Because if somebody rolls out something like, oh, say, I don't know, a Zone Trooper, there's 0 counters against them, right? There's absolutely nothing in this deck that can take them down, right? So I'm just spamming infantry, but the problem with infantry is you have that stupid Wolverine there. And because I don't have a Lieutenant Strongarm to access another building, again, I try my best to time this right, but I missed it just a little bit. Look at this problem here, right? So I get my Pred Tank up to the top, well, I'm trying my best I can. I roll up missile squads now. I'm getting kind of desperate here. I know that if I don't win this second missile, the game's over. So I go ahead, I roll up my infantry, right? I'm trying my best to steal this missile here as best I can. I even towel block him. And I almost have him, actually. Right? I almost had him. But problem is, again, very weak against infantry units. So anything that's like a Zone Trooper or anything like that, you got basically no chance of winning, right? And look how close that was. We almost had him, but unfortunately he gets his missile as expected, and not much to watch here for the rest of this game, right? I just get slaughtered because I just get outgunned. I don't have anything strong enough to counter his Zone Troopers, because in this deck, that's the weakness, right? And with that General Solomon, you only get a couple shots. I try to get in 2 good shots, and they are about as good as they can get, and still didn't win the game. So in this case, I don't think it was level discrepancy, right? It was just the play. So if you take a look at the difference here, I just swapped out your General Solomon with the Lieutenant Strongarm. I kept the deck the same. I believe the same inherent weaknesses that I identified so far, which is how you counter against stronger infantry by opening up with the air deck. Well, if you open with an air deck and they start opening with missile squads, right, you're still pretty weak against the infantry. So it doesn't really solve your problem. I believe with this deck, if you swapped out your Talons with a Rhino, I think that would be an even stronger deck, right? And take a look here. Again, he opens with a Cyber Wheel. The missile squads do a decent job against Cyber Wheels. I mean, it's not as bad as people say it is. I try to gang up on him 2-on-1. I should have retargeted and focused on the stronger one first. But as you can see here, it holds up okay, right? I knew that he has a War Factory, so let's open it from our perspective. I knew that he's got a War Factory because of the Cyber Wheel, so I knew the bikes were coming. That's why I rolled out a Pippo. I immediately rolled it down. I opened an infantry, right? I'm keeping the missile charged. I know what he wants to do with that Scorpion tank, which is probably rush down towards my Harvester. That's why I blocked him off with my missile squad first. And again, focus on one tile at a time. If I can force him off his tile, I'm in good shape. I do see that he's got a set drill pot. There's that Lieutenant Strongarm to help me out. Right, it does make a difference. You see that? So I go ahead and I roll up my Pred Tank up to the top. I should have targeted his Scorpion tank, but unfortunately I wasn't able to get this first missile. Not the end of the world. As you can see, the Lieutenant Strongarm there did help me out. I am able to take out his tank. My tank's a little bit stronger than his tanks. And again, big weakness against infantry. In order for me to do well against his infantry, I have to open a third building just to counter infantry, which is why Rhinos is better. Because if you build a Rhino in this case, right, you lose some of the agility, you lose some of the anti-air, but you've got a Pit-Bull, which is the primary anti-air that you're going to use anyway, right? And because you have a Pit-Bull, it pretty much gets the job done. I do see his Banshee rushing across, so that's why I immediately move my missile squad to the bottom. I'm trying to pressure his tank on the top as well, sorry, his Harvester, because I'm trying to harm his economy. So yeah, Terra, the weakness of your deck right now is that it really doesn't do well against this type of... it's expensive to get all 3 buildings out, right? And if the basis is you have to be aggressive, so I'm going to actually go half speed here because this is actually where it gets really fun in terms of micromanagement. I use my Talon on the top to stall up the missile because I know I can't attack air units. I have a missile squad protecting it, and I see that his Banshee is coming up, and I take out his tank. I should have redirected the firepower from my Banshee. I didn't pay attention there, right? And that's why I actually lose my Talon. But again, the Lieutenant Strongarm is able to bail me out. I continue to roll up more Talons to the top. I move my Pit-Bull to the top. And my Lieutenant Strongarm, again, is dealing so much damage. Something a General Solomon would not have been able to do. I move my missile squad to the bottom to fill out that hole, right, to take out his bikes. I go ahead and use my Pit-Bull to take out his Banshee. That Lieutenant Strongarm is actually what bailed me out. So now we're on 2 tiles, and we actually win this missile. Right, and as you can see, I continue to pressure the enemy here, and bang! We are able to get the second missile. So something very interesting happens here. I actually go ahead and swarm his Harvester, and at this stage of the game, he actually rage quit. He disconnected, right? And that was the end of the game. So not much to watch from here on out, but as you can see, that Lieutenant Strongarm is what really made a big difference at the end of it all, right? And as you can see, I never really got a chance to roll with the Mohawk. So I'm not sure if maybe it's my playstyle, but if I were to play this deck, I would replace the Talon with a Rhino. And that Mohawk, if you really love it, keep it. Truthfully speaking, I think an Orca is better than a Mohawk, because the Orca can go hit and run and it does so much more damage. It packs more of a punch. So guys, I hope all of you enjoy watching this video, and Terror, I hope you enjoyed it as well. And as always, thank you for watching. Please subscribe. Take care. Bye-bye.